Aloha everyone! I am super excited to jump into this video with you. This is one of my favorite videos to do. It is going to be a little bit more in depth, but that's because I'm going to go over a lot. And first and foremost, I want to preface this video by saying where I am today and what you're going to see in my kitchen is not where I started out on day one. In fact, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by this, but to get insights and ideas. One of the videos, or actually it's a podcast I'm going to share with you later on this week, is from a wonderful woman, Robin. She worked with Tony Robbins to do this, a great podcast where she talks about picking one or two things that are sticking points for you and focusing on eliminating those in yours and your family's life first, and not trying to do this overwhelming overhaul all at one time. My goal with this and this group and this community is to help you do sustainable changes that you're not just going to do for a 2 or 3 or 4 week challenge, but that are sustainable for the long term for you, because that's where long-term health comes into play, where this becomes a lifestyle, not just a crash fad or diet. I'm a nurse, so in my passion project of my life, it's to help people be well. I spent a lot of time in the ICU helping people my own age battle terminal illness, and that could have been prevented if they would have invested in their lives and their lifestyle a little bit differently up front, or known better. A lot of people just don't know better. We were raised with a certain level of understanding about the foods that we ate. We, unbeknownst to us, thought certain things with just that generally were made available for consumption were safe. And in fact, a lot of places, a lot of other countries, a lot of the ingredients that are found in our foods that are on the shelf are not. They're not safe. So this group is meant to educate. It's to empower you to make different decisions, but not to berate you or make you feel guilty or have you feel any amount of shame about the way that you currently do things or have done things. I know my mom has often said to me, you know, you make me feel bad that I didn't do these things for you. I'm like, well, don't feel bad. You didn't know. At that point in time, a lot of this knowledge wasn't commonplace. But as I'm going to share with you in a podcast later, even things like corn and soy that were being mass produced in the 70s and 80s are now showing to have long-term effects on the way that our bodies process and the way that we have food allergies, and our kids have food allergies. And so if we can start to pick 1 or 2 points just in the beginning to start eliminating those things or broaden our awareness of it, it can make a massive impact over time, not just for you, but for your family as well. And that's what we're here to do. So what my kitchen looks like and what you're going to see here today is not what mine started out like. I started with 1 or 2 things, and then as things needed to be replaced in my pantry or my fridge, I would learn something else and I would swap something out, and I would find a different flavor that suited my family. And maybe, you know, where I'm at today as almost a pescatarian, vegetarian as our family is not attainable for you at this point in time. That's fine. Just know where you're getting your products. Clean eating is about choosing whole foods, about choosing things that don't come pre-packaged, pre-processed with a lot of chemicals. A good rule of thumb is to shop the perimeter of the grocery store, because it's in those center aisles where you're going to find all the stuff that's laden with chemicals and junk food and preservatives. And if you can stick to the perimeter and know what to look for on those 1 or 2 points, either non-GMO or organic, and I'm going to get into those later, but you can start to make a big difference over time just with consistency and swapping things out. Yes? So if you have questions, I'm going to run through the kitchen because, as I said, that there's a lot in this video and I want to make sure I hit everything. But post your questions. I'll go back through at the very end and answer them. And then we'll dive into more of the specifics later as you see things. And if you have specific questions about anything that you do see, be sure you put it in the comments and I will get back to it. But I am going to fly through all of this, okay? So we will start in the fridge, and then we're going to move into the 2 trouble zones, which are the pantry and the cabinets, which is my secondary pantry, right? So those are where a lot of people have the dry items. And I can tell you at this point in my life, I probably have more in those areas than I ever had before, which is good because I want you to see that, because it's summertime, we're on the go a lot, I'm pregnant, I'm craving starchy things, I'm human, but I want to show you what I'm choosing, what I'm choosing not to get, what I'm really watching out for as we go through this, all right? So here we go. I'm going to flip you around. I'm going to show you right inside what in my refrigerator. All right, so when I shop, I try to go for local farmers market type deals. Anything local to you is always going to be better for your body. I'm just going to scan for you here, and then we're going to get into specifics. But if I can't, I try to find organic options are one of my sticking points. So luckily the commissary covers lots. A lot of times Costco will too. So I have almonds soaking here. I'm going to do a video for you probably tomorrow or the next day to show you how simple it is to make homemade almond milk. But sometimes you don't have time, and that's fine. I go with coconut. I love unsweetened vanilla. I use this every single day. 2 cups of water to 1 cup unsweetened vanilla. Coconut milk in my Shakeology every single day. That's my ratio. I always do 3 cups of fluid. That and that. This is kombucha. My husband loves kombucha. I got him to convert his nightly beer to kombucha. That was not an overnight process, y'all. That happened of his own accord after a long, long time, but he does like it now. I do also keep almond milk on hand, even though I prefer the flavor of my own that I make. I do keep some on hand because, you know, I'm human and I don't always have time to make it. So I like to have some there, but I always go with unsweetened. And I always choose the vanilla for me personally, but you can get the unvanilla flavored too. And then just watch out for carrageenan. And I'll spell that for you in the comments below. But carrageenan is an emulsifying agent that makes it more creamy, but it also can cause inflammation in your gut. And you just want to avoid that. And yes, I'm human. I'm also pregnant, so I don't drink any of this right now, but I have had guests. And I do love my, oh, these are good. I will plug these. I learned about these through Tony Robbins. Late afternoon energy dumps. You need to take a shot of something like this. This is omega-3, 6, 9 blend, DHA infused fatty acids. I tell you what, you take a shot of a teaspoon or a tablespoon of that in the afternoon, and it's like having an espresso shot, but it's high quality, like fatty acids that's good for your brain. I always keep broth on hand. I also like bone broth. I believe that's in the door here. Yeah, bone broth right there. Bone broth is great for collagen right now. Collagen in my body is super important for not only the growing baby, but for preventing stretch marks, which I'm all about. Eggs, I go bulk and I get organic and I get them at Costco. Costco is really great these days. They're converting a lot of their farmland, a lot of their agriculture to organic. So I support Costco in their ability to source those types of things, and it's more cost effective. I do have my Energize on hand. I am still using that while pregnant. This is my favorite vegan electrolyte mix, Saving Grace. I found it when I was pregnant with McKenna. I use it to make popsicles for McKenna. I mix it with a little coconut milk, or not coconut milk, I'm sorry, coconut water and regular water. And I make homemade popsicles for her and I. They're amazing. They have several different flavors. I get it on Amazon or at Whole Foods. Beer for Mike. I would tell you he swapped it out, but we still have it. Anyways, so soaking my almonds, I'll show you that later. All right, on this shelf, I have this carbonation craze going on right now, so I'm all about LaCroix water, no calories. I do like some Noosa yogurt. This is not the cleanest yogurt, I will plug that, but right now, y'all, it is delicious, and I do love that one. So I don't eat all that gelatinous crap. I just like the yogurt stuff, and McKenna and I will share one of those every once in a while. This is a veggie patty. I like to crumble that up with scrambled eggs and use it in tortillas. I have my cottage cheese just because, again, protein for the babe. I use Cocoa Whip, which is one of my favorite toppings if I'm making like a mug cake, or if I'm making if you've seen my blog, I linked it in the albums on the page, and I make an amazing frozen banana swirl. I love that. Don't think I'm crazy, but that is a probiotic beet, like sauerkraut, and it might sound nuts, but it's so good on wraps, and I don't need salad dressing. These are for Mac. They're her little bagel bites. She loves those in the morning for breakfast. Hot dogs. So I do have hot dogs in my fridge, y'all. They're Applegate. They are turkey and chicken, and they are for my daughter, and she loves them, and she doesn't have any clue that they're not beef, and they don't have nitrites. Now, if you're using lunch meat or hot dogs, that's one of my sticking points. No nitrites. Nitrites are one of the things, sulfites and nitrites are one of the things that has been shown to not only cause gut inflammation, but also cancer. So bacon, lunch meat, any preserved meats like this, eliminate nitrites. You can find nitrite-free lunch meats almost in every mainstream grocery store now these days, but especially if you go anywhere to Whole Foods, sometimes Costco even. The drawer, some guac. This is an amazing vegan 3-layer dip that I found at a really rare farmer's market, but it's amazing and it's expensive. Yeah, check that out, but it's worth it. It's one of my pregnancy cravings, so I indulge. These are one of my favorite tortillas. I use these daily. If you've been seeing my Facebook page, you know these are one of my go-tos for my wraps, along with these ones. The consistency is quite different, but I love these two. These are obviously much more lower carb than these. If you're trying to limit carbs and you're following the fixed meal plan, this will get you a lot further than that, but they're both delicious. And then these ones, Mac Lights, they're corn and flour infused. We have dried mangoes. You will see dried mangoes in every corner of my kitchen. We have dried mangoes everywhere. These ones my mom made from her tree in Mexico. More coconut wraps. There's goat cheese in here. These are homemade flax crackers. Again, my favorite vegan place. Again, these are higher price end. I do not expect you to find stuff like that, but if I have the opportunity to, I splurge. And hummus. So that is my little deli drawer. And then we have, obviously, bulk spinach. I use that for salads. Max applesauce pouches. Those are one of her go-to snacks. We get those in bulk at Costco. My bulk almonds for my almond milk, coconut milk. I'm trying to fly through this. Produce. You will always find both of these drawers in my house fully stocked. Berries, whatever's in season. I've got watermelon in there. They're just quick snacks, and I love fruit all the time. I could be a fruitarian. I always tell Mike I've got grapefruit right now. I've been loving grapefruit. Sumo oranges, blueberries. Blueberries are great, all the antioxidants and all the dark colored berries. Those are what I love. Come down to this drawer, I've got broccoli. This one's a little sparse because I haven't gone to the store. I just did a clean out. I usually have spaghetti squash. I have regular zucchini. I have cucumber, carrots, broccoli is our staple. I do buy a lot in tomatoes. I do buy a lot of frozen veg. Let me split. I do buy a lot of frozen veg in bulk at Costco because they do have some great organic options. And so you'll see that I get green beans there because they have big frozen section of organic, peas, broccoli. Sometimes they'll have medleys and I'll do those. But let's get back to the thing here. So condiments. People run into trouble with butter, condiments. I use Melt. This is like a soft coconut oil infused butter spread. Love that stuff. This is ghee. Let me flip that around. Oh, I've got eggs falling out, Easter eggs. There we go, ghee. We got ghee there. So ghee is a purified, clarified butter. It means they take all the scummy stuff off and you're only left with the purest form. I've got some stevia, one of my chocolate stevia. I use that. Oh, my goodness, you guys. Yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. This is on my blog too. Put a couple drops of chocolate stevia in it and some frozen bananas and a little bit of this stuff. I'm cheating because I haven't gotten over here yet. Where's this stuff? They have PB8, but I use Just Good stuff. That with Greek yogurt, a little bit of chocolate stevia, some frozen bananas. So good. So good. Okay. I digress. So back to condiments. We have, of course, from McKenna, ranch. I only really ever use Dijon if I'm mixing, like, I don't know, what do I use? Oh, if I'm making egg salad. I love some egg salad, and I only use Dijon, or I have mayonnaise, but I'm sure to get the mayonnaise without canola oil. Canola oil is another one of my sticking points. I don't do canola oil in most of the things in our house. Mac loves jam. I see. Mac loves jam. This peanut sauce, I have a recipe for a homemade peanut sauce on my blog that I use with spaghetti squash or zoodles, but this is a great one from Whole Foods. That's really good if you're trying to make like a pad thai and make like a mock pad thai with zucchini noodles instead of regular ones. I always have things like diced minced ginger or minced garlic on hand for added flavor. I love ginger juice. If you watch my videos, you know I have ginger juice with lemon juice every single morning. That's why that's a big bag of lemons in there. Just little additives. I love sun-dried tomatoes added in with eggs sometimes. This is one of our preferred barbecue sauces. I make barbecue salmon. You'll find that recipe under the recipe guide. Barbecue salmon might sound odd. Super yummy. Bone broth. Lots of healing benefits to bone broth. Down here, we've got this marinade that I found at Costco. Mike loves this on salmon. I'm looking in these marinades for no soy, no high fructose corn syrup, no corn. Those things are all additives that are used in a lot of condiments, guys. So they're getting better because they know people are watching for those types of things about eliminating from a lot of condiments, but you will still find them in mainstream condiments, and there's something to be looked out for. The reason to avoid soy is because it can increase your natural estrogen levels and increase the likelihood for thyroid disorder and certain types of female cancers. So for women especially those that have any kind of hormonal imbalances or family histories, you want to eliminate soy from your diet. As far as corn is concerned, I'll release that podcast for you this week, but corn, oh my God, corn. It's highly genetically modified, and what it's been genetically modified to do is be its own pesticide so that it repels insects on its own. So corn is no longer even regulated by the FDA, it's regulated by the EPA, meaning it's its own pesticide. So unless you're getting non-genetically modified corn or things that are added into condiments as a cheap filler to make them more bulky, unless they're non-genetically modified, you are ingesting a pesticide version of corn, which is just gross. It's just gross to think about. And it's weird that it's even allowed because in a lot of countries it's banned. So you're naked. You're not allowed to be on this video. Nice try. Mac would like to say hi. Hello. Anyways, so that's one of my sticking points. GMO. Organic, if at all possible. Sometimes it's not, like I showed you. My yogurt's not, but those are like treats for us. Freezer. All right. Meats. I always go with wild-caught fish. Wild-caught fish, better than farmed fish. I find mine at Costco. I get usually wild-caught salmon. You want to limit how much you do big ocean fish. We do Ono in our house, but again, a couple times a week because you don't want the mercury from the big ocean fish, the predator-type fishes. I get the organic chicken breast or full organic rotisserie chickens, like you can get the frozen ones and roast them. Or a good way, rule of thumb, I don't have one in here right now, is I'll just buy an organic rotisserie chicken already done for me at Costco or at Whole Foods. It's money because then I can just rip it up, put it in soups. You saw the broths that I keep in there. I throw a soup together in my Vitamix, or I'll peel some chicken off and make it on a tortilla, or I'll just throw some on a plate with some veggies for Mac. It's a quick, fast lunch. I can add it to a salad. So rotisserie chickens are the way to go, but I do get frozen chicken breasts at Costco. All right, you guys are gonna see some stuff now, because now that I'm pregnant, you know, I'm all about convenience, so I do have more processed food on hand than I normally do. But anyways, so Mac, these are her nuggets. We go with the Applegate chicken tenders. Again, my sticking point for processed meat is no nitrates. So there's no nitrates in this bad boy. Same thing with breakfast sausage. Here, let me turn this around. Easier. There we go. Breakfast sausages. I love these popsicle things right here. These ones I get at Whole Foods. Coconut for my smoothies. Just frozen coconut. All right, now down here. This is messy. Don't judge me for my messy freezer, y'all. Apple bananas. I love apple bananas. As you can see, we make banana swirl. I add them to smoothies, so I always keep frozen bananas on hand. This is one of my late obsessions as of late. McKenna loves the s'more one. Halo Top, it's low in sugar, high in protein, and it tastes delicious as ice cream. So that's my sweet tooth fix right there, in addition to my Shakeology. Got more organic nuggets back there. These are McKenna's morning rounds that we use before school. I do love, they're all gonna fall out, so I'm just gonna take them out. Whoop. All right, so I do love cauliflowered rice. If you guys have not tried riced cauliflower and you find that you're starch obsessed, go with some cauliflower rice. I like to do a half and half ratio. So I'll do cauliflower rice mixed with some organic brown rice. I need to organize this a little bit better. Some brown rice. I'll do a half and half. And that way I'm still getting the bulk and everything, but I'm not getting all the carbs. But that is one of my favorites. I make egg roll in a bowl. That recipe is also on my blog, egg roll in a bowl. Super, super yummy, and I use that as a mix. These I just found and got turned on to. I do know how to make my own cauliflower pizza, but again, matter of convenience. These were on sale at Whole Foods, and I was like, oh, let's try them, Mac. We love them. Cauliflower crusted pizza. So good. So, so good. And not that bad. I mean, not the best, most cleanest options, but I told you I'd be real with you, right? So these are what Mac and I lately, since Daddy's not home and deployed, we're like, hey, let's just throw in one of those and throw some rotisserie chicken on top, and there we go, dinner. I do like to make quiche, so I have some organic pie shells from Whole Foods in there for my quiche because I'm not hardcore enough to make my own. My frozen bananas, frozen grapes. If you have never tried frozen grapes, you guys, do yourself a favor. As soon as you find some red organic grapes, freeze a handful of them. You can thank me later. These are taro muffins, like English muffins. Mike loves those when I make Eggs Benedict. They're made out of purple sweet potato, which is huge here in Hawaii, so I keep those on hand for him. Lots of frozen fruit for smoothies and such. Organic strawberries, again, buy in bulk at Costco. Wild-caught shrimp. So shrimp is just like my other seafood. I want it wild-caught. I don't want farmed. I'm lucky enough to find this at the commissary. Costco sometimes has wild-caught shrimp. If you can find a special on it at your local grocery store, you usually can, but I use shrimp in a lot of dishes. So there's my wild-caught salmon, wild-caught shrimp, acai packets. You know, if you've seen any of my videos, that Mac is a huge acai fiend, and we love our acai bowls. So I took a sample. I'll pull this out. I'm trying to be lazy and not pull everything out, but there's my organic green beans I told you about. Found those at Costco. More organic berries. Oh no, my meaty whitefish. I love this one. This is a great fish for fish tacos. If you like fish tacos, these are a meaty white that holds up really nice in a fish taco situation. And these are the acai, these are the Sam Bagan acai packets. Super yummy. Mac actually likes hers made with a little vegan strawberry Shakeology, which I'm all for, because then she's getting added protein and not just a bunch of fruit sugars. So that's all that. All right, and then we've got more veggies in the door. Green beans, peas, blueberries, a lot of veggies, more Halo Top. More Halo Top. I should become an ambassador for Halo Top. Flip. Oh, there we go. Hi. All right, so, yes, my love.
I have 3 squiggly things.
Awesome. All right.
And 3
Okay.
squares and
Awesome. Okay, so sorry guys.
6 and
So we are back in the cabinet. Lots of seasonings for the meats. We do a lot of different types of seasonings that way instead of sauces, because if you can season it that way, it's going to be a lot more flavorful, but also you're not going to have all the calories and sugars that are added into a lot of marinades. So pre-seasoning that way. I love Herbes de Provence. It's one of my favorites to go on chicken. 21 Seasoning Salute from Trader Joe's is another great one. Hawaiian rubs. I just go to the farmer's market and find ones that I want to play with on fish and stuff. Fish is one that a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like the taste of fish. Play around with how you're seasoning it, how you're preparing it. It can make a huge, huge difference. Nut butters. I love the coconut. Oh, this label fell off. The coconut peanut butter mix. It's honestly much better for you to do an almond type butter. I just really dig this one, and so this, and I don't use it a lot, but I go with this one. This one is by a local, this is another like treat I find at the farmer's market, but it's called Nutty by Nature. This is made out of macadamia nuts. So yummy. I do opt usually instead of the nut butters to go with a nut powder, and I like this one. This is the one I go with, just great stuff. They have a chocolate flavored one as well, but I just like the regular. But there's the chocolate too. And then I will plug this. So this, instead of, do I have coconut aminos? This is a garlic sauce, but they also have one that's called coconut aminos. So instead of soy sauce, you use coconut aminos. Again, I told you I don't use soy, so if I want to marinate something like a steak or chicken or make a dressing of some kind or have sushi, I go with coconut aminos. Again, it has a very similar flavor. You're going to have that salty kind of richness, but it's not going to have all the soy in it that I eliminated from our family's staple stuff. So again, more ginger juice, marinara. This is another one where GMO crap and fillers and sugar and corn get added into this all the time. If you go look at a label, it will drive you bonkers to go and try to find a good marinara that doesn't have all that crap in it. So I like Amy's. Another one is Organic Valley. What other one? Newman. Did Newman's come out with one that had? I think Newman's might have come out with one too. But just look at the labels, guys. Just look and see what's in it. Again, no high fructose corn syrup. I try to avoid the soy, the corn, and just see what's in there. I love the tikka masala sauce. This is great for simmering. Fish is actually pretty good in this too, but I usually do chicken for the family. And then I have my cooking oils. So coconut oil, olive oil. I don't know if you can see that. And then I've got avocado oil. Avocado oil I use as a mix-in for my like egg salad. So if I'm doing an egg salad sandwich or whatever, I use that. And then, of course, my pink Himalayan sea salt. I love hot sauce, so I found this Dakine stuff, and I've got Cholula. All right, ready to go into the pantry? This is where everybody's demons come out. Oh, and then quinoa's up there. And Flavor God. I will plug Flavor God. You can find these on Amazon. Flavor God has tons of seasonings, sweet and savory. Go with Flavor God. They're the cleanest type of seasoning I've found. All right, pantry. All right, no judgment, right? So, pantry, here we go. All my baking supplies are up at the top. I usually use coconut milk, condensed coconut milk, and coconut milk instead of regular stuff and tapioca flour because we try to go gluten-free as much as possible. this shelf. Shakeology, and yes, I have a problem. It goes all the way to the back with every flavor you can imagine, and soon to be 2 more new flavors as soon as I can get my new orders. I do love these. They're electrolyte blocks. They have just a little kick of caffeine in them, but they're like little chewies. They're great for after hot yoga. I have been using the Performance line, a half a scoop mixed with my Shakeology. That's one of my favorite blends lately. And now the shelf that gets people in trouble, right? The snacks. Snacky foods. So how I go about snacks. We do a lot of dried fruit. As I told you, you'll find dried mango in pretty much every corner of our kitchen. We do a lot of nuts. I'll make my own homemade trail mix. McKenna likes dried pineapple. We call it fruity monkey poop. These I found at TJ Maxx. They just have, sometimes they have really cool snacks, but as you can tell, they meet my requirements, right? So they're just little clusters, easy to throw in a snack bag for McKenna or myself. We also both love roasted seaweed. Please do not turn your nose up to it until you've tried it. I would have thought this would have grossed me out, but it is one of my favorite go-to snacks now. It's just kind of that salty crunch. We also go with the Earth Balance popcorn to have on hand. Bars. I get a lot of question about bars. So one of my favorites is Go Macro. It's a good clean bar, not a lot of additives or preservatives. This is my bar stash up here. I love Health Warrior. You can get them at Target or Safeway. They're chia seeds, so they've got a little kick of protein. They're not high in carbs. They're teeny. They're little. So you can throw them in your purse. Good on the fly. I do like the Laura bars, the fruit and greens. These are my Mama Sweet Tooth fixes. These little Carab cups. One of them, half of that back one will do me good. Or these ones are Mike's favorite. He likes these Unreal peanut butter cups, but again, keep them up there, and I don't ever bring home a lot of them. These I'm new to, and I love them. As I was telling you, collagen is great for protein and prevention of stretch marks and just overall health and energy. So these Primal Kitchen ones, get these off of Amazon. Not necessarily the cheapest, but if you buy them in bulk or if you get a good deal on them, they got a good amount of protein. I like these ones. This is our preferred granola that we use as a mix-in if we're doing like acai bowls or something. I have other versions of granola. That's Mac's favorite right there. This is Mac's little shelf. These are some of the bars she likes. That's it. Fruit bars, Simply Balanced bars, and then we got all of our just supplements and wellness stuff, which is just a whole nother video, and I'll happily get into that another time if you're looking to prevent illness. McKenna's cereal. She has cereal maybe once a week. She's much more of a person that likes her little bagels or what have you. And then her peanut butter crackers. And here are little Annie's cheddar bunnies. These are just reusable little lunch sacks kind of thing. And nut thins for me. These are the other kind of crackers I like if I'm doing egg salad or any kind of dips. I like the Super Seed ones. And I think that might... Oh, and pickles. If you caught my pickles down on the bottom shelf. But again, I'm pregnant and I do like my pickles. I'm the cliche pregnancy person. So I know this video has been super long. Good on you for those of you that stuck it out with me, and I hope that you found it helpful. A lot of this stuff, guys, pasta. I didn't talk about pasta. I do spaghetti squash. I make zoodles for me personally. Those are what I've converted to. For the family, I always keep on hand brown rice, pasta swirls. I do Annie's. All of that is in the pantry outside. I do Annie's boxed mac and cheese for Mac. She loves Annie's. That's another go-to. But I also use the spiral like brown rice noodles, and those are a go-to for pasta. You can find them here. That's what I have in there. So yeah, that's really it in my kitchen. And as I mentioned, this is not where I started on day one. It's definitely been an evolution over time to get Mike on board, to get me here. And Mac has always been this way just because it's all she's known. I get questions about picky eaters for kids a lot. Just get them involved in the process. The process in the kitchen. Oh my goodness, sorry. But with her, it started out this way for us. It started out with all of this in our kitchen, and it's just what she's known. And she does get exposed to certain things at school, but I just explained to her, I don't know what happened. I just explained to her that that's a treat, or that's not how we choose to do things, and why, and what's healthy. And now she actually takes the upper hand and is like, oh, we don't eat that, it's not healthy, it's not good for you. Or if somebody is offering her something in class, she might say, I'll have a little bit, but she has no taste for sweets. she thinks things are overly sweet because she's never been subjected to them. So she'll often turn away certain things like candy and cakes or not eat all of them because she's not used to it. So it's just a pattern over time. And even for you, you might find that some of these things don't have a lot of flavor for you, but you have to understand your taste buds over time through putting all this processed stuff in your system over time numbs your taste buds. And it's going to take you some time to get to a place where you taste the natural flavor of food again, where you feel like you genuinely are energized without caffeine, that water and good fatty acids help to fuel you. But your body's been through a lot up until this point. You have to give it time to readjust, and you need to stay consistent with it. It can't be one day clean, one day crap, one day clean, one day crap. You need to start cleaning it up gradually over time and be consistent with it. That's why it's so helpful to sometimes do one of the 3-day cleanses, or especially the 3-week cleanse. Both of those can be amazing for helping you just detox and hit the reset button on your whole body. I'm going to be actually doing a 3-week cleanse group next month. So in May, I'm going to go 3 weeks. I can't do the cleanse completely full out because I'm pregnant, but I will be leading everybody through it because I've done it many times, and I have some great insights and guides to offer you, anybody that wants to do it. So if you're looking for that overall reboot, that is an amazing way to go. So I think that's it. I have held you here long enough. I hope you got a lot out of this. And if you have any questions, please post them, and I'll be sure to answer as soon as I get a chance to review the video, all right? I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.